Welcome back to another episode of Nintendo Switch games to buy before they become rare and expensive. And I have yet another list of 15 awesome games to look at and talk about. So let's get right into this list here with Ys Origin. In my opinion, this is a must play, must own on the Nintendo Switch, a great action RPG by Falcom. And this is a great place to start the Ys series. It's where I started it at, as it's supposed to be the first game in the timeline. You get three awesome characters to play as, so there's lots of replayability. You can only play as one per run, but they all have their own combat mechanics. The girl here has, she's like an action combat. Then you have the guy that's like a mage. And honestly, I didn't unlock the third route yet, but I'm excited to. This is a great game, a must own. Make sure you pick this one up. This one you can still get for the cheap, around $30, but these Falcom games tend to go up over time, so I'm guessing that it's only a matter of time before this one follows that trend. So next on my list here we have River City Girls 1 and 2, but I'm going to count it as one game because I have the Japanese import edition that has both games on the cartridge. Beautiful inlay artwork here. Awesome game. I played the first one pretty much almost 100%ed it, and I've got to say that this is a must-play game if you're a fan of beat-em-ups, 2D beat-em-up games. This is right up your alley. It has RPG mechanics where you level up, you can buy and unlock more moves as you go, and I haven't played the second one yet, but these games are very rare to own individually. The first one goes for close to $100 because it was a limited run game. The second one, I believe you can still buy from places like Video Games Plus, a great website you should check out for rare games. I believe you can still buy that at retail for 35, but you can get this Japanese import for like 40 to 50 bucks. I saw it's on Amazon now for like 35, but they're running very low on stock, so I'm guessing that even the Japanese import versions of this are going to end up maybe being rare and expensive. If you're a beat 'em up fan, this is a must play, must own for the Nintendo Switch. Alright, next on my list here we have Trials of Mana. Awesome action RPG from Square Enix. And I've heard that this one, I haven't played yet, but I heard that the combat kind of opens up as you get into it more. You unlock more moves and it gets even better. Let's take this out so we can look at this beautiful inlay artwork. Looks awesome. But this is one that you definitely really don't see new copies for anymore, but you can still get it for the cheap for around 20, maybe 30 bucks at the most. So I suggest if you see this one out there, go ahead and cop it before it gets harder to find, possibly even more expensive. And then we have here Collection of Mana. So this has the original Trials of Mana on it. It has Secret of Mana and Final Fantasy Adventure. Three awesome action RPGs, classic games, and I'm guessing that this in the future is definitely going to go up as well. Beautiful reverse artwork cover here. If you see this one, go ahead and cop it. You can get this for like 20 bucks right now, so why not cop it now instead of waiting years down the line for the price to go up when it's harder to find. Alright, next on the list here we have Neo, The World Ends With You. No inlay artwork there. This is the more modern version. This is a sequel to the original Neo, The World Ends With You. This is the final remix, which is a remaster of the classic DS game that they made for the Nintendo Switch. Beautiful inlay artwork with this one. So this one here, the deal with it is that it goes for around 50 to 60 bucks. I caught my local game store slipping. They had it for 30. They probably thought it was this game because I looked this one up on price charting and you can't even find anything for it. And it's pretty hard to find. But this one is probably the better game, I'm guessing, as it's a more modern game and it was pretty well received, but it sold pretty low. The modern one, Neo, The World Ends With You, for the Switch. So if you can find it, I suggest you go ahead and cop it because it didn't sell well, so that's just the indicator right there that it's going to end up being more rare. This one you can find for around 30, this one for around 50 to 60. So if you're looking to get both of them, I suggest getting this one first, Neo, The World Ends With You Final Remix, because that's the more rare and expensive one to find right now. And chances are it's probably just going to get more rare and expensive. So next on this list here we have Metal Max Xeno Reborn. This is an awesome turn-based RPG, great characters, great stories where you battle it out in tanks. This is a great game. Honestly, haven't played it. I picked it up because It was 50% off clearance of this price at GameStop, so I just paid 20. But I heard Radical Reggie talking about this game, and he was saying it's an awesome game. So go ahead and cop this if you're interested in it, because I mean, it's on PS3, I believe, the original, and on PS4. But the Nintendo Switch version, as you know, Nintendo games get more expensive than games on other consoles. So if you want it on there, go ahead, cop it now. Tales of Vesperia Definitive Edition. I have played this one, and I've got to say, must play. Awesome action RPG. Was my first Tales game. Actually, the only Tales game I've played. But this one, you just have to be a little patient with it, as when you first start up, the combat is kind of bare bones. But the more you level up and progress, you unlock new moves, you recruit new characters. It's an awesome game with probably hundreds of hours of gameplay. And this one you can find for the cheap right now for about 20 bucks. But you really don't see new copies. You really don't even see this out in the wild anymore. So go ahead and cop this one now before it becomes more rare and expensive. Now, next on my list here, Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. My copy's still sealed because I haven't played it. Now, this game, I heard a lot of people say is a classic, awesome game. You can find this for the cheap, but the reason I'm putting it on my list here is because I've noticed that the new copies they sell on store only have the digital download with the artwork, no cartridge. So that's just an indicator that the cartridge version, the true physical, is going to get harder to find. Buy it now before later. You can probably get this like 20 to 30 bucks, or if you just want to play it digital, get it that way. It's on sale all the time. Rayman Legends, another one if you want to play on digital, you can get for super cheap, but I'm putting it on this list because I don't see them making the cartridge version anymore. I just see the download with the artwork when I see it now. So that's just a sign that it'll get harder to find. I can't really see this one getting too expensive, but it's possible that the Switch version could be the most expensive version of it, as Nintendo consoles are just so collectible. Crash Bandicoot, the Insane Trilogy. You get 3 games on one cartridge here. And with Activision being bought by Xbox, who knows what they're going to do with the Crash series. Who knows if this will make it to future consoles, or if this is just going to be stuck on modern consoles. So I suggest getting the portable Nintendo Switch version while you can, because you just never know. And next on my list here, this is my number 1 Nintendo Switch game of all time. I recommend everyone buy and play this game. If anything, if you end up not liking it, just hold on to it. I'm pretty sure it's going to hold its value. Fire Emblem Three Houses. Wow, this game is a masterpiece. So replayable with 3 routes. It's a strategy RPG, great story, great characters, great combat, great customization, how you can customize your units and make them into different classes, hundreds of hours of gameplay. And the Fire Emblem games on other consoles have always become rare and expensive. If you look at Fire Emblem for the GameCube, for the Nintendo Wii, even the 3DS ones, I feel, in a little bit are going to start getting pretty pricey. If you look at the special editions, they end up crazy expensive. Next on my list here, Fire Emblem Three Hopes. And this is like an alternative version of Fire Emblem Three Houses. It's a Musou spin-off action RPG version, and they made the stories kind of different. Haven't played this one yet, but I got this for like 30 bucks when it was on sale, close to when it first came out. And you can get this one for super cheap now, but because Fire Emblem games end up being rare later, I suggest you get it now for the cheap. Then you have the original Fire Emblem Warriors, and this one is getting much harder to find. So I suggest if you're trying to collect all the Fire Emblem games on the Switch and you haven't got this one yet, get it now while it's still cheap. Just a good tip for you. Alright, and the final game on my list here, Fire Emblem Engage. And I have the Divine Edition, which came with the regular case and the steelbook. Look at that steelbook, how that holographic art shines. And this is another great strategy RPG. Probably the best combat in the series. Now, the characters and story probably aren't as good as in Fire Emblem Three Houses. But don't let the negativity about this game fool you. This is an awesome strategy RPG. I love this game. This is a must-play game. Honestly, I gotta be honest though, I didn't beat it because I wasted too much time on the Somniel, and I kind of got burnout from that. So I gotta go back and play this one, but I was really loving the combat. Actually, even a lot of memorable characters. I know people complained about that, But this game has a lot of memorable, cool characters. It's a celebration of the whole series, kind of an anniversary game where it has all the past Fire Emblem protagonists in there in some way, shape, or form. They appear kind of as spirits. But yeah, that was my 15 Nintendo Switch games to buy before they become more rare and expensive. Now, if you found this video helpful, informative, or entertaining, please subscribe and leave a like because that helps the algorithm where other people can get recommended this video. And I know a lot of people are going to be buying a Switch for the holidays, so people are going to want to know what games to buy. Thank you so much for tuning in, and also thank you so much for the reception on this series of videos, all the new subscribers, the likes, and the views. And until the next video, peace.